Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today, May 16th. It's Monday, 2022. The man they call Meathead, the lovely Linda K. Linda, I know you're the road warrior right? You're the one out there doing the miles and putting in the time and, on the microphone. I feel like in my hour and a half drive back from a great Control Your Narrative show along with GLCW, I may have caught up to you with sore throat. I was singing for 90 minutes straight in the car.
Yeah, I do that on my drives and also just really projecting on the microphone that I try to at least at the shows that we do. And yeah, it was tremendous to see you in Cedarburg, Wisconsin there at the Control Your Narrative GLCW co-show The Awakening.
Yeah, I had wondered, and we'll get to the sponsor in a second here. I had wondered what kind of show it would be. Would it be a Control Your Narrative shows up to GLCW and then you're announcing everybody has controlled their narrative, or it would be a mix, or would it be a GLCW? We got that answer yesterday. It was basically CYN wrestlers in the GLCW world.
Right. But also the show kicking off with EC3 coming out and kind of, giving everybody who may not know Control Your Narrative as well, or their mission, what they stand for. It was nice of him to come out, intro that and bring out one of his talents, who was a veteran and that, got the national anthem. And then we kicked off the show very GLCW style. So it was just a very pleasurable pleasing.
Ooh, I was very pleased. I was very
I really meant to say pleasing. Oh, it's already been a long morning. Pleasing mix combination of both promotions. And I mean, I was delighted at the show. You were, the fans were, and the talent. So yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah, and we've also seen other Control Your Narrative shows. We saw the show at Gillies as well. So
in Dallas, yeah. So it was nice to bring it to our lovely land of Wisconsin. I was gonna say Milwaukee, but it was Cedarburg, but close enough.
Yeah, it's the Milwaukee area. I did a little digging. It's still the Milwaukee area. They're rocking the 262 out there, so it's still Milwaukee area. So, all right. Linda, speaking of rocking, what was I rocking and what can you rock if you use the promo code Linda K?
I'm glad you brought this up because last week during our live draft edition of PWR Today, I had on a collar and elbow t-shirt that I called the Irish Whip shirt. Pardon me, it was early. I meant to say it was the collar and elbow shamrocks and shenanigans t-shirt.
Oh, there you go.
Because yesterday, Meathead, you were sporting the collar and elbow Irish Whip t-shirt, the actual Irish Whip t-shirt, which if you want to be sporting not just Irish themed attire from collar and elbow, but anything fashionable, comfortable, wrestling street fashions, make sure to go to collarandelbowbrand.com and to save 10% off your order and use promo code Linda K. That's LINDAKAY.
Perfect. Well, Control Your Narrative and GLCW, they put on an amazing show. I tell you what, there was a couple talents, folks. I want you to look up Flip Gordon. Linda, I don't know if you've called any shows yet with Flip Gordon, but that kid is a star. I know that he spent some time in Ring of Honor as well. We also saw Damo out there. I was kind of surprised to see Damo just literally out of nowhere. What was the guy that he was working, the one with the pretty face, patent pending?
It was Jamie. He was that dude.
That dude.
Jamie. I met a lot of the guys yesterday, but
yeah,
no, that was a fun way to kick off the show as well. Absolutely, but I mean, just we had a first ever live interview take place in ring when the Space Cowboy interviewed Fanny Pack Kid Cal Hero. We had Jordan Cross come up during that, and let's just talk about the main event. It was something very unique, something I've never been a part of at any GLCW show, and that was announcing not just an 8-man tag, not just a regular one, but it was a team GLCW
company versus company.
CYN. Yeah, so that was very cool. We saw in the end that Team CYN prevailed. We had they were led by EC3 and Adam Shearer, of course, the Titan, and man, just great seeing everyone out there, the camaraderie.
I feel we're burying the lead here. What was the huge news that came out of yesterday's big show in Cedarburg involving EC3 and Cal Hero?
Looks like EC3 is calling out Cal to have a match at Blizzard Brawl this year.
Wow. So Cal, the big interview was about Cal and his recovery and when he's medically cleared to compete again. And I asked Cal off on the side. I said, "So when are you cleared?" I said, "When's the next show?" "I don't know. Whatever show is the day after I get cleared is the next show, and that's the one I'm going to do." Well, EC3 said there's August, September, October, November, December. I'll see you at Blizzard Brawl. So a one-on-one match, EC3 and Cal Hero. That's going to be a big stage and a big match for our kid with the fanny pack.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk a little bit of news here before we kind of go in and dive into AEW's Rampage and WWE SmackDown. Speaking of WWE, NXT, the brand, is going to have a pay-per-view. We just had our draft last weekend. I was the only one to draft an NXT talent because really we didn't know when they were going to have any pay-per-view events. And, I know that you probably did, or Matthew did, and even I did in the back of my head going, why did you draft Braun Breaker? Well, In Your House, NXT, Saturday, June 4th, only on the Peacock Network, is a pay-per-view point qualifying event.
Yeah, you did pick up Braun Breaker, so they'll help you, get into the higher rankings right now, if you will, of the draft. But that's just great to hear that, this is going to be the first, outside of Stand and Deliver, of course, but just the first pay-per-view coming out of WrestleMania weekend NXT 2.0, really getting their own huge platform. So exciting to see. As you mentioned, I enjoy NXT, and I like seeing them getting to perform in a bigger arena size audience as well. Really showing everyone what they can do.
Yeah, exactly. So far, only 2 matches announced for the NXT In Your House. Cameron Grimes will take on Carmelo Hayes for the NXT North American Championship, and Pretty Deadly, the new tag team champions, taking on your favorite, Linda, the Creed brothers.
Yeah, I like both of those tag teams. That should be a fun one to see as well. And interesting with the North American title match too, because we know Solo
he's sniffing around. He's close. And, they want that bloodline to have as much gold as possible. Solo unofficially is part of the bloodline. Hey, there's a story coming out of AEW in a Jeff Hardy interview that he gave on AEW Unrestricted podcast where he's been collaborating with Danhausen, and there's a possibility they may be coming up with a Fiend-ish character called The Friend for Danhausen.
Interesting. So how much has been presented that this?
How far down the road is it? Yeah, I don't know.
No, just how much info do we know about The Friend? Did they describe this person more? Is it just somebody resembling
it's a
Fiend,
it's a take on the Fiend. It's not an insult or a mockery of any sort.
Okay.
It's almost an homage. But, Danhausen's going to be the Friend instead. He's very, very nice, but he's very, very evil.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'm into it. I'm absolutely into it. I'm excited to see what happens and what comes of that. Yeah. Let's talk about Rampage from this last Friday morning at like 5:30 in the morning, whenever the hell it aired. I'm joking, folks. It was airing at 5:30 Central, 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central. But another early AEW Rampage. We had plenty of matches. It started off, Linda was so excited to be able to watch this during the daytime on a monitor for monitoring picture quality that I was excited to have wrestling on while I was doing this. Death Triangle, Pac, Rey Fenix, and Penta Oscuro taking on the Butcher, the Blade, and Mark Quinn with the Bunny. This was an amazing match. I cannot believe that I got to watch this during the daytime. And then at the end, speaking of the daytime, the lights went out. And here comes the House of Black. Brody King, Malachi Black, and Buddy Matthews. The lights go out again, and House of Black are gone. They're clearly playing mind games with the Death Triangle.
Right, and I know you touched on this with Matthew, but the trios belt and just some of the trios that come to mind when you think about that within AEW. Boom, right there.
There's 2 solid ones right there. Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the third. Okay, so maybe, hey, you can. A lot of tag teams or trios in this case can be put together and can get gold. We know that. Yeah. So we never know.
They're like gold member. I love gold.
Yes.
The chairman, Sean Spears, took on Bear Boulder. There was talk going around the internet that, hey, look at that. It's Kevin Owens' dad. Bear Boulder looking like Kevin Owens Sr. Chairman with a pretty basic win here.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna bring up what you and Matthew discussed at Dynamite, just the whole 10 thing during that confrontation, like that. I popped at that. That was great because I didn't at first even think about that till MJF.
But that was
not
Ty
1, not
Dillinger.
2,
Yeah.
not 4, not 9 cross spears. And then right went to him and then across the tree. I'm like, holy crap, that's right. And then they didn't do that. So I don't know, just yeah, little something there.
Those little shots. Matter of fact, let's go back to a little bit of shot yesterday from the kid with the fanny pack. He goes, but to be fair. Yeah. See, that was a nice little throwback there. Lexi Nair backstage with Tony Nese and Mark Sterling. Apparently, they're not happy with the match that's been set up for Double or Nothing. It's going to be Hook and Danhausen, Hookhausen, taking on the team of Nese and Mark Sterling.
Yeah, it's been weeks in the making to will they team up? Will they be friends? Will they be foes? But definitely got Hookhausen in the mix there, and that'll definitely be a crowd pleaser to kick off Double or Nothing next weekend or 2 weekends.
2 weekends. I think it's the end of the month. Yeah,
so a couple weekend. Weeks, that's right. Yeah.
Yep. The Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament quarterfinals match: Riho and Ruby Soho. Again, these names are really close. I hope it's not messing anybody up. But Ruby smashes Riho with the Blade Runner, and then pin Riho to advance in the tournament. You'll love that code of honor at the end as well, shaking hands, kissing babies. So Ruby Soho advances.
Right. I did enjoy this match, and it took a few shots at Riho in the very end to finally, get her down for the 3 count. But yeah, great match, and the whole Owen Hart tournament thing, I really enjoyed. And again, I'm just going off what you and Matthew said. Just I don't talk much Dynamite with you, but great to see Martha Hart there, and just
Dr. Martha Hart.
Doctor, yes. So yeah, I'm enjoying that tournament as well.
That's 2 doctors in AEW, by the way. Now 2 doctors, and they're both legitimate doctors too. It's not a nickname. It's not like Dr. J. Billy Gunn backstage with the Gun Club and the Acclaimed. They are doing crotch chops and scissoring each other.
I watched this back so that it just gave me a chuckle. Yeah, it was a very entertaining segment. I will say that. I just even just
right.
I mean,
right.
We've got 2 words for hands in the air. At first, I was thinking, wait, what? 2 hands in the air? Like I'm thinking like Orange Cassidy in the pocket. I didn't think. I'm like, oh, and then once they said that we got 2 words, I'm like, oh,
yeah. See, now you get it. Yeah.
But no, but just even the stuff with the Acclaim too, just and and yo, how about that? And yeah, that was great.
It was actually entertaining. Let's talk the main event, the TNT Championship match. TNT champion Scorpio Sky taking on Frankie Kazarian. Again, folks, this is the first ever, the inaugural AEW Tag Team Champions from SCU. The winner of the match, Scorpio Sky, still keeps the belt. At the end, a lot of weird stuff going on here. We had Sammy Guevara and Tay Conte coming out. Dan Lambert insulting him. You've got Scorpio Sky hitting Frankie Kaz with the belt. There was a lot of, like I said, a lot of weird stuff going on.
Yeah, and also at first we thought, because Scorpio Sky didn't see Ethan Page hitting Kazarian with the belt, so then it's just like, wait, what happened? And then all of a sudden he does it, so it's like, oh, they duped us, and then Sammy and Ty out front too, and it just, it was interesting stuff going on, but it
seemed a little cluttered. I mean,
business for that TNT title.
It was a lot. It seemed a little uncluttered. Or cluttered a little bit, but it was still it was worth watching. Hey, let's talk real quick about what's coming up this Wednesday on Dynamite. The Owen Hart Foundation men's tournament match between Ray Phoenix and Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole and Jeff Hardy in a tournament match. You got MJF is going to give 10 lashes to Wardlow per his contract stipulations. Samoa Joe is taking on a mystery opponent, the Joker, in the tournament. Britt Baker, DMD, taking on the Joker mystery opponent, and there is talk that the men's mystery opponent Joker and the women's mystery opponent Joker are married. Do you have any idea who that might be, Linda?
Gargano and LeRae.
Gargano and LeRae. There is talk that Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae are the Jokers that will show up in AEW in the Owen Hart Foundation women and men's tournament.
That was just
all right. That was a shot in the dark. All right.
Shot in the dark.
Thanks.
Sing out loud.
One step away from you is Smackdown Results, and they aired at a normal time. Thank you. I'll be here all week. They aired at a normal time. Do you know? I'm just going to talk about the main event real quick because the picture's right in my face here. The second I saw Riddle pop Roman Reigns in the mouth with the knee, I was like, yeah, that's right. Make him eat the knees. Boy, is that am I just hearing like the training finally? Make him eat the knees, make him eat the knees. Is that are you training like that? Or am I being trained like that? That's all I thought of was, yeah, make him eat the knees. What is wrong with me?
All
All right, let's talk about SmackDown from Friday night. It starts off with RK. And instead of getting a bloodline, instead of getting the Usos or Roman Reigns, they get Sami Zayn wearing a bloodline t-shirt. Well, what this made was it was a match between Riddle and Sami Zayn.
Yeah, still really trying to figure out the true connection, the true correlation between Sami Zayn and the bloodline, because we see him sporting the shirt, okay, but then we see him interacting with Paul Heyman and back, or even, his initial.
Do you know what he is? He's the Disco Inferno to the Wolfpack, is what he is.
Yeah, perhaps, yeah.
He's trying to be cool.
Yeah, but hey, Sami Zayn always entertaining, and no matter what situation he's put in, or portrays, always a great job. And this is really interesting because it's involving the bloodline, which just seems so interesting. Now Sami Zayn's like in this realm. Interesting. Wouldn't think that, but here we are, and it's good.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about Ronda Rousey coming out. Coming after her I Quit match. Charlotte Flair is now injured. She didn't have to talk in the mic a lot, and she says, "I'll tell you what, open challenge. Somebody come get this." Here comes Raquel Rodriguez, and you know what? Rousey wins, but wins on a roll-up, meaning that Raquel Rodriguez was able to still stick it out with her and just got beat by a roll-up.
Yeah, that match went really long, and I mean, which is great because her just getting called up from NXT. If I've watched her, and I think she's tremendous. She was one of my favorites in NXT. But if you didn't watch NXT, you may not know as much about her. So this was giving her a chance to really show herself.
I thought it was great.
Smackdown. Yeah. Oh, but she did great too. I mean, it really was a great match between them. I wouldn't have thought that it was their first time, or at least on TV, the match between the two of them. It went really well, and they showed there was a sign of respect at the very end as well, but also a little bit more. Raquel was like, is this close? And then even, I don't know what Ronda mailed back. It looks like she said something back, but definitely something I could see more between the two of them.
Yeah. 2-on-1 beatdown on poor Madcap Moss. Andre the Giant and Happy Corbin beat down Madcap Moss. Now, folks, I'm joking. Obviously, it was, Happy Corbin using the Andre the Giant Battle Royal trophy and beating down Madcap Moss.
And the chair, too.
And the chair around his neck.
And his neck,
right.
yeah. Well, wasn't sure if it was going to be the end of them after WrestleMania.
Oh, it's Backlash. Over now, yeah.
Obvious. I don't know. He can't. I don't think Madcap will let that one just go after he recovers. I'm not really sure.
Tag team title match for the women's side. Sasha Banks and Naomi defeat Shayna Baszler and Natalya. I didn't want the girls to lose their belts on SmackDown. I want to see that on pay-per-view, but I thought there was a chance. However, still looking strong is Sasha Banks and Naomi. There's also talk that Naomi is going to hold on to the gold because technically she's part of the bloodline as well.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, I mean, they're a great tag team. I know we've discussed it. Like they look like a great tag team, even though they were not a tag team for very long. But great showing so far, and personally, I'd like to see them pulling out of the gold even longer.
Another win pulled out by Butch over Kofi Kingston, even though we already had a tables match, a week ago, and now we're getting Butch and Kingston in singles matches. They seem to be hitting the replay button over and over and over.
There was further mention of Big E and how much he's missed. But I believe Big E did post something so recently saying it's going to be a little bit longer as far as his road to recovery. So
honestly, Big E, if you're listening, we want you to take your time, get right, and then come back when you're ready. Don't rush.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking they could interlace different matches between the 5 of them right now since Big E is out, but Not sure. I wasn't sure where they were going to go with Butch with him disappearing for a while, but obviously we know where his
That
loyalty
disappearing thing just went and
stands.
took a dud. I mean, that could have been more, and it was nothing. Dude was just hanging out underneath the ring. It's weird.
Yeah. But as a trio, I know this is a different
Mhm.
promotion, but as a trio, I
Sure.
think they work really well together. And
I
I
do
wish
too.
New Day was still a trio right now too, but no,
We'll
there's
get him back.
something more. Yeah.
Let's talk about the main event segment. The Usos and RK Bro ask for the match, call out the Usos, and ask for the unification match. And allegedly, we're getting it this time next week, Friday on SmackDown. And what I allude to at the beginning of the review here was that to set the tone, Riddle pops a knee up underneath the chin of Roman Reigns.
Yeah. This is 2 weeks in a row now where Roman's left, grabbing his face and having to get out of the ring after getting
After being
attacked.
attacked. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. But hey, I'm just glad that it's going to happen. Hopefully, I would love to see that. Um, I know it didn't happen at the pay-per-view, but hey, we got one heck of a six-man
I
tag
think we're getting
match.
shenanigans. I don't think it's happening. I think it's happening in Hell in a Cell.
Mm,
I think we get
possibly.
some sort of interference or DQ.
Right,
Roman
right.
Reigns interfering in the match and causing the DQ, and then they put him in the cage.
Mm. Yeah, that would be great too, but at least we're getting there again.
We're getting there. All right. We're getting to the end of the program as well. Tomorrow morning, we've got more talk. We're going to talk Raw. We're going to talk everything else news-wise that comes up. So for Linda Cave, the man they call Meathead, hey, thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning. So long, everyone.